Slidell police are investigating an apparent murder-suicide. WWL-TV's Whitney Miller has the story.
A child called 911 after finding both of his parents dead inside of their home. It happened around 9:30 this morning on Delaware Boulevard near Slidell and was found near their bodies. Two of the couple's children were also inside of the home. DCFS was called to help take care of them, and the incident is under investigation to figure out what exactly happened.
Now here's Charlie Long with WWL Sports.
This college basketball tournament update is brought to you by the Gulf Coast Men's Clinic, where men go to meet men again. Today, LSU and Iowa battle it out for the NCAA Women's Tournament Championship. Both programs are in search for their first national championship, but how did they get here? For the Tigers, their defense has propelled this incredible run. In all 5 of their tournament wins, LSU hasn't allowed a single team to shoot over 41% from the field. LSU head coach Kim Mulkey said their work defensively has been a consistent factor in their success.
For 9 new pieces, 9 new players, playing for a championship, I would have to just say that we continue to grind and get we had great shooting nights, solid shooting nights. But the one thing that I think they really important to is that this is what that moment's trying to tell us: just keep guarding people and you'll stay in ball games.
It won't be easy for the Tigers in the championship game, as they'll be opposed to the Player of the Year, Iowa guard Caitlin Clark, who has been on fire recently. She scored 41 points in each of the Hawkeyes' last 2 tournament wins. But she's not the only star in this game. LSU's Angel Reese has a chance to set a single-season NCAA record if she's able to record her 34th double-double today. Tip-off for the game is at 2:30 with pregame starting at 2 right here on WWL. On the men's side of things, UConn and San Diego State each booked their ticket to the championship game with wins in the Final Four over Miami and FAU respectively. That game will be Monday night at 8:20, and you'll be able to listen to all the coverage here on WWL. Charlie Long, WWL Sports.
Now, your Garcia Roofing forecast on WWL.
Your Sunday, not too bad. 80 degrees this afternoon, mostly cloudy with less humid air. Heading into the beginning of this week, we've got record highs possible. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, very warm in the mid to upper 80s. Not really expecting much rain to begin the week, but as we get into the Wednesday, Thursday time frame, a weak front starts to move towards us. That will bring some rounds of stormy weather through the end of the week. So ending the week with storms around. From the Local Weather Expert Forecast Center, I'm WWL TV meteorologist Nick Muller.
And I'm Tom Perumian, WWL First News.
From WWL, the News Talk Sports Powerhouse of the Gulf South, it's All Things Legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nicaud. Underwritten by Nicaud and Sunseri Law Firm. Join us on the Oakland Art Jewelers Talk and Text Line, 504-260-1870, or connect anytime, anywhere on the Odyssey app. Now, to our Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studios in the heart of New Orleans, here are attorneys Albert Nicaud and Doug Sunseri.
Hey, good morning. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. Here to 10 o'clock. Give us a call, 260-1870. Good morning, Albert.
Good morning, Doug. How are you?
Actually, I'm doing my best imitation of Frogman Henry, who's from New Orleans. So I got a little allergy. So it's not your radio, it's not your stream, it's me. But I wanted to see, did you watch the well, first of all, where do you want to start? LSU to Pelicans?
You tell me.
All right, let's start out with LSU. 2:30, I think today, game time. I think it'll be on WWL. And what an amazing run. I think what a difference one person can make in a program. And they just they were down 9 points in the fourth quarter, and they just came steaming back, and they just lot of inspiration, a lot of perspiration. They're a good team, but man, what a difference a coach makes.
She's been successful wherever she goes. She's a class act. I mean, wearing her front really clothes, trying to make it fun. And I see that a lot in the WNBA, the college ranks. The girls wear lots of fun makeup and the long eyelashes and different things like that, just to kind of make it more fun, make it there. And Kim Mulkey gets it, and so she's playing her part. Wearing the frilly clothes and the outfits. And,
Well, I mean, that's like I said last week. I think that's a brilliant trademark because you had, Bear Bryant with the fedora, you had Wim Sanderson at Alabama with the plaid coat. If you sort of have the Tom Landry, the hat exactly, you sort of have a trademark. And we all know who Kim Mulkey is. We all remember her from the Olympics. We, playing at Louisiana Tech, winning a national championship, and then coaching at Baylor. But if you're a 17-year-old prospect, you may not know that. That's just like ancient history to them. So if you go on the West Coast, you go on the East Coast, you go somewhere in the Midwest, and she's recruiting a prospective basketball player, they know her as the lady who dresses up for the games. And it's a very unique trademark that probably is very, very intentional, well thought out, and also, fun, Louisiana. And, I think it's very, very savvy for her to have that because it makes a lot of the girls want to, it differentiates you from maybe other coaches that all sort of run into each other. But,
I gotta tell you though, I watched the Iowa. I mean, I just
Caitlin Clark.
that game. Oh my gosh, looking at the game from the roster to the program to the size of these kids, with matched up against South Carolina. It was like, okay, this is going to be a 30, 40-point beatdown. And this Caitlin Clark girl, she lit it up. And it was it. It was all about whether or not she could score a lot of points in that game from the perimeter because you weren't going to score in the end. They got crushed on the boards, crushed on the offensive boards, but she was able to get out there and score 40 points, 41 points actually. They fouled her twice at the end. Ice in her veins, boom, boom, made both sets of free throws. And, that was the only way they could beat South Carolina. It wasn't going to happen in the paint. And so, she had to light it up, and she did. Two games in a row. Last game, she scored a goal at 40 as well.
Well, the consensus was South Carolina was unbeatable. Absolutely. It was just a foregone conclusion. Even Coach Mulkey had said in the press conference when they made Final Four, South Carolina will be in the Final Four. And, it just goes to show you got to go out there and play the game. And, I had mixed emotions about South Carolina. I like having SEC teams. I'm not a big fan of the coach. But that's why you go out there and play the game. Now, I'm wondering, I know Coach has a plan for Caitlin Clark. I mean, I guess they used to have the old box and one.
The plan B is to double it. You make them get rid of the ball, and then you let they scored 71 points, and
She scored 40. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, you gotta make somebody else. And so you're gonna overplay that three. You're gonna come out hard on the high pick and roll, and let it try to get the pass to the roll. Whoever it is, whether it's the big or one of the forwards, and then guard the middle, which LSU's got the size to do. So I have a feeling that we're going to double her and put the pressure, make them get rid of it.
Right. Well, let the other four beat you. That's probably the
Exactly.
yeah. So, but I think game time. I think it's at 2:30. I know it's covered. Yeah, it's a 2:30 game, and well, here's another stat that's just amazing. You had Bob Pettit, Pete Maravich, Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Jackson. You had a couple of that one run in 1986 with Coach Brown when they were, I think, 11th seed. But there's never been an LSU basketball team that ever played in the NCAA finals, men or women. This is the first time,
There you go.
which is quite an accomplishment. And you think about that for some of the players, second year's coach, and you think of all the players who rolled in, through LSU. LSU has 3 of the top 50 players in NBA history, in the top 50. It's Bob Pettit, Shaquille O'Neal, and Pete Maravich. So LSU does have a history, not lately in the last couple of years, but they do have a great history, and never made it to the finals. And a national championship game is always, it just has a a mystique about it, and it's great, great publicity for LSU, just in another way. And would having a national champion does raise the profile of the of LSU, which is good for ultimately for the state, and also sort of does bring the state together and say, if we get the right people in the right places, calling the plays, we can do things in Louisiana, and we're the best. We can be the best instead of the worst. And we're 50 in a lot of ways and 49 in the United States, but we can be number one if we get the right people in there who aspire to be the right people. And I think one of the things Coach does not. She only she demands the best. She demands the best in everything she does, and it shows. And she, again, she would be a very good example to, especially the political class in Louisiana, that we can accomplish that if you do it right. Also, yeah, right.
For those who are unfamiliar with the latest playoff picture, there's a play-in game where teams 7 and 8 play and teams 9 and 10 play, and those two teams end up being the 7 and 8 team in the playoffs. Well, right now the Pelicans are only a half a game behind, which means they don't play a play-in game. They're only a half a game behind Golden State. So, who really came back and beat them the other night. That was, I guess it was Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of went off and did the shooting.
Right. They did.
Crazy. But man, what a great game last night. They played really well. And Brandon Ingram, put them on their back. Put them on his back. And, there are a couple of things I kind of question. The coaches, like for instance, when they played the Warriors, the Golden State Warriors Thursday night, Jonas was playing well and he was scoring, he did well, and then he put Larry Nance in, but then he put him in the corner. And I think, they were trying to open things up to get to the middle and, open up the lane a little bit. And he shot 2 threes in the last 3 minutes of the game. Larry Nance is not that guy and doesn't profess to be. And I don't understand that. He did the same thing with Jackson Hayes. When Jackson Hayes, started playing well, he put him in strong rotation. Well, he put him at the 4 spot, but standing at the 3-point line. I mean, this kid's so talented around the basket. Why would you ever put him out there, on an island and all that guy? That whoever's guarding him help out the middle, because we want to dare you to shoot that 3.
Right.
He's a 3-point shooter. And so I don't understand that. He did it again with Larry Nance. Now this time he played Larry Nance at the end of the game, which I was a little confused by too. I don't know if Jonas was kind of, but he had, I think, 23 and 12 in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, one of the things about Jonas when they were slumping, Jonas weren't going to Jonas like they were in the beginning of the year when they were streaking. Now, as far as their playoffs, if the magic number with the Mavericks is 1, so if the Pelicans win 1 or the Mavericks lose 1, they're in the play-in. So the magic number for the play-in is 1. Now, they are a half game behind the Clippers, 1 game for the 6th spot. Then they're 1 game. Yeah, they're a half game behind the Clippers at the 6th spot, who they just beat. And if they tie, I know they beat them twice in the last week. So I'm not sure. I would assume they'd have the tiebreaker. Then they're right. Well, or head to head first, then you go conference. Yeah. Right. and then they're a game behind for the 5th spot. They're a game behind Golden State, and they're only a game and a half behind the 4th spot with Phoenix. So you have in the next 3 games, you can go anywhere from 10th to 4th, which is is basically playoff basketball. So for the next 3 games, we're playing playoff basketball, and
They've got a tough schedule. I think they've got 4 games left, and
yes.
all 4 teams have winning records. All 4 teams, so it's going to be a tough. Hey, am I worthy of being in there? We'll see. We'll see.
Now Brandon Ingram, yeah.
A couple of the teams have locked down their position in the playoff spot, so they may be resting some people, taking it easy towards the end. Get people healthy from some injuries. So, typical like the NFL does. A lot of the guys don't play the last game, or they'll play limited minutes, just to kind of rest them for the playoffs. And hopefully that happens where the Pelicans aren't playing a team that's got a lot at stake when they play the Pelicans. And a couple of the teams, of course, are Western Conference teams. So.
Well, when they played Denver Friday, let's see, they played them Thursday night. They sat down who's it? They sat down Jokic for load management, and that's a different team without Jokic. I mean, they're just an average team. They're not. So we caught a break there. They play. I know they played the Knicks. Let's see. The next game is they play Tuesday night against Memphis. They play 3 games left. They play Tuesday night against Memphis at home. They play Thursday night against the New York Knicks at home, and they play Saturday against the Timberwolves. Now, the Timberwolves are also, that may be a game where when they play the Timberwolves, that might be a game where they're playing for the 6th or 7th or 8th or somewhere in the play-in. So this will, and they're at home. I suspect they'll be close to being sold out, and this will be playoff basketball. And it's probably NBA playoff basketball. It just has a higher level of each possession really means something because in the regular season they sort of go through their flow and they sort of gear up for the 4th quarter. But these will be games there that every possession will be contested, and it'll be it's just a different field for basketball, playoff basketball. So there we go.
You could feel it even just watching the game from home. I could feel it in the playoff atmosphere inside the arena last night for the Pelicans. And the crowd was into it, and it's fun. It's fun basketball. So I'm hoping we get out. Zion, what happens, right? Is he gets healthy for the playoffs? Obviously you want to put him in a little bit just to have that extra big body, and have teams have to try to scheme for him. But at this point, you kind of have a good little rhythm going with who's in there. And I think they miss Jose a lot.
Yeah, I think they miss Jose a lot. Yeah, because
Dyson Daniels to me is not he's not the defender they say he is. He gets beaten off the first step a lot.
Well, he's a rookie.
And
Yeah.
And he's offensively, he's I won't say terrible. He's just not.
Well, he's not.
Very productive at all.
Well, he's 19 years old though. I mean, right. Well, he's 19 years old. So or 20. I know. I mean, he's getting on the floor, which is a lot of rookies don't. But yeah, Jose, they missed him distributing the ball. They miss his energy. They miss his enthusiasm. And is he supposed to be ready back for the playoffs? Because sometimes with the Pelicans, if they say a player's out for a week, you got to double it. So multiply it by 2. So, all right. Well, let's go to our break. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
NCAA National Basketball Championship. WWL. For the first time ever, the women's purple and gold are going to the big dance. Tune in and cheer on the LSU Lady Tigers as they make history. Today, pregame at 2, tip-off 2:30 p.m. on WWLAMFM.com and live on the free Odyssey app.
Grand slams, no-hitters, and double plays are back, and there's no better place to get in on the MLB action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Hey, it's Tommy Tucker. That's because right now, new customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Just go to FanDuel.com/Tommy, sign up, place your first bet, and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win. You can pick a pitcher to go over on strikeouts or build a same-game parlay with your favorite matchup of the day. So don't miss your chance to get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Just go to FanDuel.com/TOM to sign up. New customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball and WWL.
21 plus and present in limited parishes only. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet. Expired 14 days. Restrictions apply. FanDuel.com/sportsbook. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-770-STOP.
Bonjour, mes amis. Looking for the perfect gift? There's no better way to say I love you than with a pair of diamond stud earrings from Oakland Heart Jewelers. Let me read you this online review from Kristen. I purchased an absolutely beautiful pair of diamond stud earrings today at Oakland Heart. They treated me like a superstar. The thing is, the diamond stud earrings
Sounded really good on my end. I could tell
Okay.
you're like trying to not sound it.
I'm trying.
It sounded very healthy.
searches through hundreds of diamonds.
I know.
Chooses only those with the most fire and brilliance. Don't think for a minute that my diamonds are alike. Ours really sparkle, and you don't need a loupe to see the difference. Plus, we buy direct, so we bring you the best for less. And no matter how much you want to spend, we have a huge selection of diamond studs to choose from, in every price range, second to none. C'est magnifique, oui. There's a great work of art in every box from Oakland Heart on Metairie Road.
Is your Hurricane Ida insurance claim unresolved, underpaid, denied, or stuck in neutral with a public adjuster? Did your Hurricane Ida insurance company go bankrupt? If so, you must file a lawsuit before August 29, 2023, or your Hurricane Ida insurance claim will expire or go away. Hi, this is Doug Sunseri, longtime WWL radio host and attorney at Nicaud and Sunseri Law Firm in Metairie and Mandeville. Nicaud and Sunseri can preserve your Hurricane Ida claim if the insurance company attempts to fall on the ball and run out the clock. Call 504-837-1304 Nicaud and Sunseri Law Firm.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Protect your assets from financial uncertainty. Southern Coins and Precious Metals. SouthernCoins.com.
So we were in Times Square.
Taking selfies with all the lights.
I bought a shot glass.
I bought a snow globe at this little shop.
You know, I collect those.
Then we grabbed a slice at a
Super secret spot.
It smelled a bit.
funky outside. They don't have alleys.
They don't have alleys, but they certainly have
People.
lots of people.
When everyone's vacation sounds the same,
It's time for something different. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
As an educator, Mr. Nelson's teachings are still being quoted in schools.
Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world.
Mr. Nelson taught hope
Everyone is right that they are dedicated and passionate.
and giving our best.
We're back in 50.
Yeah.
possible and how it's done.
Mr. Nelson Mandela's teachings not only united a nation, they inspire us today. Inspiration. Pass it on from PassItOn.com.
All things legal on WWLAMFM.com and the Odyssey app. Connect with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nicaud on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line. 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. One last thing I want to mention before we go to Justin. He's got a question regarding abandoned car wash. LSU took 2 out of 3 against Tennessee. I went to the game Thursday night with Paul. Paul Skeens was pitching, and very Nolan Ryan-esque pitcher. Just when you have when you throw 101, 102, and your changeup is 90 miles an hour, that's something. It's almost unfair to the batters. But LSU is 6-3 in conference. They're 24-4. They lead the SEC West, and the SEC East has got Vanderbilt that's 8-0 in the conference. South Carolina 8-1, Kentucky 7-1, Florida 6-2. And LSU plays next week. They play South Carolina, so they've played 4 teams in the top 15 their first 4 weeks. Man, SEC is not for the faint of heart, for sure. SEC baseball. All right, let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Justin. Hey, Justin, what you have for us, brother? How you doing, man?
Good morning, Brother Albert. I do have a serious question. I'm going to start off with this. Y'all told me I was the beneficiary of an imaginary trust.
No. It's an unfunded trust.
Well, that was my question. When do I get my imaginary one-man job?
No, you see, that's the benefit of being a beneficiary, or it's more of an honorary position because the trust is not. It has no money. But so therefore, a trust that doesn't have any money is really not very valuable. That's it. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's get to the seriousness. There was a story a couple of days ago that there was a dilapidated car wash somewhere in Orleans Parish. And the mayor and the city of New Orleans made a big deal. We're going to demolish this. And all of a sudden, while they're doing that, the owner of the property gets a cease and desist order. So they had to stop work. And I'm thinking, the city of New Orleans has the record of the owner. Did they contact this guy and say you have to clean this thing up in 30 days, something like that? What do you think?
I don't, I don't know.
Warnings ahead of time, and he just never did do anything. He ignored it. We get those calls all the time. Hey, the city wants to tear my building down. Well, they notified me. I got some notice, every 2 or 3 notices. There's an adjudication that they did, not even 10, and we get that kind of thing out. So they typically don't just walk in with a bulldozer and start tearing things down. And but they'll give you notice. Now, whether it's effective notice, that's something you can always know. Whether it's legal notice, whether it's did it properly.
Whether they said. Right. Well, a lot of times.
Albert, let me ask you that. Let me ask you this, Albert. If I notified the owner 3 times and got an answer, that's his fault. And I got to, I'm the city, I'm the demolish, or at least start to. That's one thing.
Yeah, I mean, whatever the process is, there's a written procedure as to how they go about doing that sort of thing, whether it's a public nuisance or a health hazard or whatever the case may be. And, the city has the right to go in there and do it. They follow the proper procedure. And so, the moral of the story is, and we get it all the time, not just violation notices from the city that the grass is too high or whatever the case may be. Yeah. I had a guy call me the other day. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got this lawsuit. I didn't answer it. Now they're coming to, they took a default judgment of $12,000 against me. And how do I get it overturned? Well, I paid it already. Well, then you should have gone to the court and said, hey, I paid it already. Here's my proof of payment. But instead, you ignored it. And it just happens, probably once a month we'll get a call from somebody like that says, hey, I let this lawsuit around. I got served with something. I really didn't know. I put it aside. Well, if you get served with something, it's important. And don't just put it in a drawer. Don't just think it's
right. Don't put it off. Take care of it. Exactly. That's what my dad taught me. He said, Justin, you got a legal problem. Take care of it.
Yeah.
Right. Look, I thanks a lot for talking to me. And it was very important because I'm very I'm balls about this, the way my city looks. There's so many abandoned properties, and the city's putting its foot down, and I'm with them on that.
Yeah, well, they need to put a bunch of other feet down too on that issue and get it and get it going. So yeah. Well, I'm glad. Oh, all right, Justin. Thanks for the call, and your check is not in the mail. I'll tell you what. Let's go to Henry from California. Has got a question regarding squatters' rights. Hey, Henry, you know all things legal. What's up? What part of California are you calling from?
No, I said to the
Oh,
questionnaire guy that I was calling about a problem that exists. I saw in California. I live
okay.
here in a.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
It was regarding squatters. They've got terrible stories I'm reading where people move into someone's home if you're on vacation, and then you got to go through the courts to get them evicted, which might take 2 or 3 months. And they said the same applies in Illinois. I don't know how we stand in Louisiana regarding somebody just moving into your house.
So Louisiana, that's called trespass. And so, you will call the police and say, look, here's my title, I own the property, get this person out of here, and oh, by the way, have them arrested. There is something that's called acquisitive prescription, means you can acquire property, after many years of holding out to the public that it's yours. And there are 2 types of acquisitive prescription. There's a 10-year and a 30-year. 10-year acquisitive prescription is commonly known as good faith acquisitive prescription. You have some title of some survey or something that indicates that the property is in fact yours, or that, hey, the fence is really 6 feet over and the survey might be wrong or whatever, but you're in good faith, and if you occupy that property and maintain it, kind of show to the world that it's yours, and take care of it, it becomes yours after 10 years, and you can try to acquire the title. Then there's what's commonly known as bad faith, or just not good faith acquisitive prescription, and that's a 30-year acquisitive prescription. So if your fence has been somewhere for 30 years, and somebody, the neighbor behind you decides they want to build a new house and sell it, and the new house gets built, it's like, hey, look, you're encroaching on my property by 3 feet. At that point, you say, hey, look, this fence has been here for more than 30 years. I own this property now, whether or not you have title to it or not. And so then we get those battles and see those battles all the time. But then, of course, the burden on you to show that the fence was there for 30 years. And it's easier when, of course, there's a boundary in terms of how much land you possess and occupy. But yeah, so that's your squatters' rights version in Louisiana. That you can't just move in to somebody's home and they've got to evict you. It's kind of crazy.
I don't know if you've seen any of those incidences coming out of California, but man, these all kind of.
Well, the People's Republic of California, their laws probably operate a little different than a free country. So sometimes they're a little different there. But also, we're not there. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Yeah. Well, let me tell you when that happens most common in Louisiana is if you got a boy, couple that meets at Jazz Fest, and then one comes to live with the other for a few months, and then things go south, and they're like, "Get out the house." I say, "No, I'm a tenant here." And so, in those type of situations, if you're cohabitating with someone romantically or otherwise, sometimes you do have to evict them, but that's the only case that I've come across. So, or what our parents would call would be shacking up. Okay, so there you go. Well, yes. Well, that doesn't say a lot. Um, all right. Yeah.
I'd like to make that I've never been able to make at the appropriate time during the station. People keep talking about sea level rising because of melting ice. Have they ever considered where did the Grand Canyon go?
Um,
Every
I,
time it rains, there's soil, rocks, and everything else being washed into the ocean.
I can read you all the predictions that were made starting 1939 about the catastrophes that were going to happen due to melting ice that haven't happened. And
Well, if you recall, I remember being fifth, sixth, seventh grade when doing science projects, and one of the major themes during that period of time was the coming ice age.
right.
That's 30 years. That the Earth is cooling at such a rate that the polar caps are going to freeze over, the water's not going to melt, we're going to have water shortages, and
Here.
that was the best scientific evidence 30 years ago.
Okay, I could tell you Paul Ehrlich in 19 yeah, Paul Ehrlich, a doom and gloom climate scientist, had said that in 1970 that by the 21st century, an ice age will be here in the 21st century. He went on to say that we would be rationing water by 1974 and food by 1980. And in fact, as recent as 2021, Los Angeles Times ran a story saying a no-snow California could come sooner than you think. A few weeks later, the University of California, Berkeley Central Sierra Snow Lab announced that California just had the snowiest December on record. So there's all kind. If you look back at all the predictions and all the hysterical predictions with a lot of the people who are climate experts today as to what was going to happen today, we would be under about 20 feet of ice right now. So take it with a grain of salt. They don't know.
Every time it rains,
Yeah.
it carries, debris with it.
Yeah. It's just take it with a grain of salt. That's what I say.
Go to drroyspencer.com. He is a climatologist, and he is very moderate and explains a lot of what this is and what's going on. It tells you the truth about how we're actually going through a cooling stage right now during this global warming, polar caps melting thing. So drroyspencer.com.
There you go.
He kind of tells you like it is. There's no real agenda. And
Yeah. Well, if you say it's climate change, global warming, it's just another excuse for government intervention. All right, let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, you weekend lawyers. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
WWL, home of Scoot on the Air. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The latest news.
The Russians lie and repeatedly are desperate right now. Inflation background checks for all firearm sales.
When we come back, we can do Randy from the North Shore.
Yes.
Property that he's surveying, like neighbor issues.
Gotcha.
And then we also got already a group message that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie from St. Bernard Parish, who supposedly he's not calling about a question. He's calling because he has like a conclusion to an issue that he brought up to you and Albert like a couple weeks ago. I don't remember him.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, I was the guy with the 18-month old house with the rotted out floors, and I wanted to tell them the outcome of it. Like,
Okay.
Do you want to take that, or just go to bed?
We could. I don't think we could take it. I don't know that we'll be able to take it before the end of the hour, though.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. We can take it next hour if you want to hold.
Secure and super easy to use. So don't miss your shot at a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Just go to fanduel.com/abear, that's HEBERT to sign up. Make every moment more with FanDuel.
21 plus and present in Louisiana. Permitted parishes only. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at fanduel.com/sportsbook. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-770-STOP.
Tens of thousands affected by the toxic water in Camp Lejeune are left with death, cancer, Parkinson's, dementia, birth defects, and other serious illnesses. And along with the harm, so many worries.
My family drank Camp Lejeune water. What if our health gets worse and we need more financial help?
How do I protect my VA benefits and get the compensation I deserve and need?
The answer is simple. Call James Harris Law, the experienced, trusted law firm that can get you significant compensation while protecting all your VA benefits. We're already fighting for hundreds of Marines, families, and civilians who drank Camp Lejeune water. But if you miss the deadline, you could forever lose your right to the justice you deserve. So call our Camp Lejeune legal helpline now. Now may be your last chance to receive full compensation. Don't delay. Call.
Do you know if they changed the VibesCon password?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
800-337-6655.
The French poet Paul Eluard once wrote, Si tu souris, je vois le monde entier.
You want me to text someone and ask them if they
No,
You smile.
that's all right. I just can't get it.
To put that kind of smile on your love space, there's only one place to go.
If there's any good text,
Every diamond ring.
if we have a break, I might just let me know and I'll let you read them.
Is made with natural diamonds.
Yeah.
Handcrafted by a member of the Oakland family.
Or you can read some of them just as a if we have a break, you can just go up and down anything that's interesting. Yeah, no. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
From the New Balance New Orleans store, our trained fit specialists get as much information as possible before matching you with the perfect pair of New Balance shoes. We've also got all the apparel and other gear you need for spring too. There's no better time to get outside than right now. So head over to the New Balance New Orleans store and get your custom fit New Balance footwear and spring apparel today.
Our oceans are home to most of the life on Earth, but today, plastic pollution is killing our oceans. 33 billion pounds of plastic enter the oceans every year. That's roughly equivalent to putting 2 garbage trucks full of plastic into the oceans every minute. But you can help. Ocean is campaigning to stop plastic pollution at the source by calling on companies to reduce their plastic waste and offer plastic-free and reusable alternatives. Take action today at oceana.org/join.
It's March, and you know what that means? Taxes are almost due. Jackson Hewitt can help you win tax season. That's the sound of your maximum tax refund. The sound of getting 50% off tax prep. The sound of many of our competitors' prices going up. And the sound of getting to your nearest Jackson Hewitt. Hurry in for 50% off tax prep before this offer expires April 9th. Limited time offer for new clients filing in participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale starts now with limited quantity deals on PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Select Astro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Now, more All Things Legal, underwritten by Nicaud and Sunseri Law Firm. All advice given and opinions shared are solely those of attorneys Albert Nicaud and Doug Sunseri. Back to WWL.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. Let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Randy from God's Country in the North Shore. Hey, Randy, what you have for us, brother?
Hey, good morning, man.
Yeah.
Around September of last year, there was an acre lot between my neighbor and I. And the man that owned it, he went to my neighbor and I about, did we want to buy it, give us first off. Well, the neighbor didn't want it, useless, yada. Well, make a long story short, I bought the lot. As soon as I did, the guy put up a nice fence. I had ordered a survey, and they finally got to my survey and finished it like last week. survey or what?
Well, I mean, what is your relationship with the guy? What's it been?
He's just a neighbor. I mean, I don't socialize with him or anything. I went to it when we found the sewer leak about, rerouting it, and I had to end up turning him over to the parish 6 weeks later. He really ain't to do with it.
Eventually you're going to want to show that to him, and if he doesn't want to get it from you, then, maybe you need to send it to him and tell him he needs to move his fence.
Well, I'm not interested in making the man move his fence, okay?
Well, how far is your property?
What's that?
How far is your property?
About 3 feet.
I mean, that's up to you. Then I just leave it alone, And find out, send it to him, and then let it die if you don't get it.
We out to a neighbor of ours and told him, look, I'm not interested, but I would recommend that, hey, if you don't agree with this survey, I mean, I got a top dollar state licensed surveyor and civil engineer did the job. So, and he told me he would stand by it. So, yeah, that's the way, yeah. Okay, well, I'll just like I said, that's the way I looked at it. I'm just the balls in his court, my fence is not on his property, and I have no interest in making him take his fence down. And really, the only reason we bought the property was to give our grandchildren a little extra space to play. So, okay, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the call. Yeah, let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. We'll be right back after this brief time out. I love you, babe. I love you, babe.
WWL, home of Louisiana's great outdoors with Don Dubuque. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
WWL is proudly sponsored by Dudley DeBosier Injury Lawyers. To call 5.
Alright, so the caller regarding the outcome of
Yeah.
the gun, but we are getting slammed with callers.
Okay. No, I don't think so. Yeah. Just crowd as many commercials in on this. Oh, also, I picked up on that version of You're Too Good to Be True, sung by Engelbert Humperdinck, not Frankie Valli. I know.
Because personally, I like his version more.
They're both good. They're both really good.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Get detailed selection, showroom hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. History comes to life in Expressions of America, an immersive outdoor sound and light show. Enjoy an unforgettable evening of music, special effects, and entertainment.
You're too good to be true.
And stories of everyday people who made a tremendous impact during a time of monumental conflict. Reserve your tickets today for Expressions of America, exclusive at the National World War II Museum in New Orleans.
Like a lot of people my age, I recently got the shingles vaccine. Shingles is caused by the same virus that causes chickenpox,
which I had when I was 9. The virus stays in our bodies, but can reactivate as shingles
when we're in our 50s. It's a painful rash that can lead to skin infections, vision loss, and even problems. So getting a vaccine was a no-brainer.
Learn more about the vaccine you can prevent visit immunizations.la.gov.
It's always with Garcia. Is its shield. That's why for nearly 30 years, homeowners have trusted Garcia Roofing. For more information, visit GarciaDidMyRoof.com.
If you own a small business, you know the value of time. GetRefunds.com does too. That's why they've made it easy, no matter how busy you are, to apply for the Employee Retention Credit, or ERC. Go to GetRefunds.com to get started, and in less than 8 minutes, see if your business qualifies for ERC assistance. Your business may be eligible for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee kept on payroll during COVID-19. GetRefunds.com has already helped clients claim over $3 billion in payroll tax refunds through the ERC, and they may be able to help your business too. No upfront charge either. They don't get paid until your business gets its refund. Many businesses believe they won't qualify based off incomplete or outdated information, so don't let this opportunity pass you by, because this payroll tax refund is only available for a limited time.
When we come back, you'll have about 3 minutes, almost.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Baseball is. We're in this weird little sweet spot where it's probably too little time to get
Yeah.
a caller, or too much time to
Cool.
sit there and stream your shows.
Right. I got you.
Or jump back and listen to the best segments on demand.
Don't forget, we talk to the manager every Tuesday at 2 p.m.
Don't listen to some guy from the other side of the country.
We're back in 10. I'll do a rejoin. Some of the lines we can build up some callers so that we start.
Okay, yeah, do that. Do that.
Get in the game and download the free Odyssey app today.
All things legal with Sunseri and Albert Nicaud on WWL and Odyssey Station. Connect now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekly lawyers, all things legal. Want to thank Colin back at 400 Portage Street at Master Control. He's also the official Gen X correspondent of All Things Legal, because he's the only Gen X listening to us probably right now. But he's at least getting paid something for it. He came, on the last rejoin, he played Going Out, You Are Too Good to Be True. But I did pick up, it wasn't the Four Seasons version. It was Engelbert Humperdinck, which Colin was saying he thinks that's a better version. And I think they're equally as good. What do you think, Colin? Yeah, I know. No, I know. I think they're equally as good.
I'm more of an Engelbert fan. Four Seasons, I don't know. Frankie Valli got a few good hits. I just, the whole walk like a man, why don't you sing like a man?
Oh, there you go. Wow. I guess you wasn't a fan of the Bee Gees either, then, huh? I like them. Yeah, I love the Bee Gees, but
Same thing. I wasn't a big Smokey Robinson fan.
you didn't like the falsetto. All right. Well, we're going to national news, local news. We'll be back for hour number 2 on All Things Legal. So why don't you stay tuned? Hang on for another 10 minutes. We'll see you for hour number 2.
Well, dogs. The Saints and LSU. WWL New Orleans, WWL FM and HD1 Kenner New Orleans. Always live on the free Odyssey app. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. Dozens of tornadoes have been reported this weekend. Homes and businesses in several states ripped apart, trees uprooted, and some neighborhoods are almost completely ruined. Heidi Jenkins lives in Wynn, Arkansas.
Clean up what I can and then get this cleared and then try to see who else I can help.
This woman lives with her daughter and grandkids in Hohenwald, Tennessee.
You make her and the kids get in the bathtub, because it's supposed to be the safest place. And what happened if you're shaking?
And Bill Bunting from the NOAA Storm Prediction Center says the winds have been fast and furious.
We have received reports of these thunderstorm winds in Ohio and western Pennsylvania.
The storm's knocking out power all across the country. There are hundreds of thousands still in the dark. Former President Trump is expected to turn himself in on Tuesday in New York. Since this is all unprecedented, you may be wondering how it will all play out. Legal analyst Jessica Levinson.
What we're going to see is that the former president will be processed. He will be arrested. He will be arraigned. He will become part of the criminal justice system. There will be fingerprints that are taken. They will be electronic. There will be a mugshot. But we don't think that there will be the more theatrical aspects that typically happen. We don't think there will be a perp walk.
Security has been stepped up in New York ahead of the arraignment. This just in, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson has just announced he'll seek the Republican presidential nomination in 2024.
I have made a decision, and my decision is I'm going to run for president of the United States.
He told ABC this week.
I hear people talk about the leadership of our country, and I'm convinced that people want leaders that appeal to the best of America and not simply appeal to our worst instincts.
He says a formal announcement is coming later this month. Protests continue in Israel despite Prime Minister Netanyahu temporarily pausing a controversial plan to overhaul the country's judicial system.
This is not something that we can live with. We cannot live in a state that is not democratic.
And even though your brackets were busted long ago, it is down to 2. The Yukon Huskies will face the San Diego Aztecs in the NCAA basketball championship game. For the Aztecs, who have never made it to the final game until now, it all came down to a jump shot at the buzzer by Lamont Butler to seal the deal.
I'm just so happy y'all in this position, and we got a chance to win the national championship.
Connecticut has won the title 4 times. The game is tomorrow night. This afternoon, though, you get LSU versus Iowa for the women's title. This is CBS News.
Streamline how you hire with Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or a former client? Maybe an outdated news article? Or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. But right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
WWL First News. I'm Tom Peruvian on your official weather station, WWL.
Overall, not going to be a bad Sunday. Temperatures get up to 80 degrees. That less humid air is feeling pretty good as you get outside. We will see mostly cloudy skies, maybe an isolated shower, but other than that, not expecting any heavy rain.
The local weather expert, WWL TV meteorologist, Malone. An arrest of a New Orleans man wanted to murder in the home. WWL TV's Whitney Miller has the story.
A man is in jail for homicide in Lacombe. The St. Louis Parish Sheriff's Office says 20-year-old Cornelius Coleman of New Orleans was arrested yesterday. Coleman is accused of killing a man back on March 18th on Brittany Drive near Lacombe. He was booked in New Orleans Parish as a fugitive on a warrant from Kenner Police for an unrelated crime. After that, the St. Louis Parish Sheriff's Office put a hold on Coleman. They booked him with 1 count of second-degree murder.
And before we go into sports, Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards is laying down a bet on today's NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. WWL TV's Mike McDaniel has the details.
And check this out, Governor John Bel Edwards sitting in on the front with a of his own. He tweeted at title of Tim Reynolds last night, quote, "Let's make things interesting. I'm willing to bet some Louisiana Boudin and Coach Tim Mulkey and LSU women's basketball are coming together to bring the national championship back to Baton Rouge. What do you say?" Well, the governor has responded. Perhaps she's still trying to figure out what Boudin is.
In WWL Sports, this
This college basketball tournament update is brought to you by the Silver Slipper Casino, your host on the coast for your tournament sports betting. It's Championship Sunday in women's basketball. The 3-seeded LSU Tigers and 2-seeded Iowa Hawkeyes each took down their respective 1 seeds in the Final Four to set up an exciting national championship game. LSU used a massive fourth-quarter comeback versus Virginia Tech to punch their ticket, but it won't be easy. On the opposite side is Player of the Year winner Caitlin Clark, who's coming off back-to-back 41-point performances in the tournament. Tiger head coach Kim Mulkey praised Clark as a scorer and a contributor.
I don't like to use the word never, but I don't know that I've ever seen a player that can do what Caitlin does. She's going to get her points. That girl's phenomenal shooting the ball, but most impressive.
All right, I just texted you guys the first caller up. I'll text you guys the next one once we're in the middle of that conversation.
Gotcha.
Players that can get numbers, but she makes others on her team better.
Tip-off is set for 2:30 with pregame at 2 right here on WWL. And number 1 LSU baseball couldn't secure the sweep over number 10 Tennessee after they dropped Game 3 of their weekend series. 4:30 with pregame at 2 right here on WWL. And number 1 LSU baseball couldn't secure the sweep over next one will be against South Carolina. And the Pelicans secured a massive 122-114 win over the Clippers last night. With 4 games left, New Orleans ranks 7th in the West. They're half a game behind the Clippers for the 6th spot, but only half a game ahead of the Lakers, who sit in 8th place. Charlie Long, WWL Sports.
Now, your Garcia Roofing forecast on WWL.
We're going to be warming up as we head into the work week tomorrow, but today 80 degrees, mostly cloudy, and not too bad. The lower humidity makes it at least feel okay. Tomorrow 86, Tuesday 86, and Wednesday 86. So we're kicking off the work week with near record highs.
We just to double check, we don't have a show next week because
No, we're off next week.
Okay, we'll mention that.
Yeah, I'll mention it. Yeah, I'll mention it.
For real local weather forecasting, I'm WWL. Keep moving your own. Take a look.
And I'm Tom Perumian, WWL First News. From WWL, the news, talk, sports powerhouse of the Gulf South, it's All Things Legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nicaud. Underwritten by Nicaud and Sunseri Law Firm. Join us on the Open Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870, or connect anytime, anywhere on the Odyssey app. Now, to our Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studios in the heart of New Orleans, here are attorneys Albert Nicaud and Doug Sunseri.
Hey, we're back. Hour number 2, Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers, all things legal, on till 10 o'clock today. We will be off next week, next Sunday morning. It is Easter, so we're taking off. We'll see you in 2 weeks on All Things Legal, and we'll be pretty much every weekend until the Saints season starts. And normally during the Saints season, when we're winning a lot of games in playoff contention, we'd probably do 8 or 9 shows during the Saints season because Saints were playing in prime time, flex to 3 o'clock. But this year, I have a feeling we'll have a little time off, Albert, when the schedule comes up, which is fine. A lot of new games. That's right. All right, let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Barry. He's got a question on a transfer upon death document regarding his house. Hey, Barry, what you got for us, brother? Good morning.
We were together with some friends. By the way, Doug, you did a will for us back in 2016 for my wife and I.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
All right.
Anyway, we were talking with some friends, and they mentioned this document called Transfer on Death, TOD. Do you recommend we get something like that?
Well, it depends on, first of all, some of the accounts do have transfer upon death accounts. It is easier if they're valid, if the accounts have that feature to it. There are some financial accounts that do and don't.
Things you want to be careful about with a TOD. You'll have somebody, for instance, let's say you have an account with just your name, and then you do a TOD account and you leave it to, your son. Well, if you don't have a prenup or a separation of property agreement,
There you go.
Half of that money ends up being your wife's. And so it puts the financial institution in kind of a precarious situation because document that says transfer this upon my death to my son, but the wife has a claim to 50% of the
Right. That's true. It's community property.
Yeah. So how about the house?
You can't do the house. I mean,
I'm not familiar with that.
you would do.
They do that in Mississippi. They have transfer upon death deeds in Mississippi. Upon my death, I want this house transferred to this person, and then all you do is file a death certificate, and and then they'll redo the deed with it in that person's name. But Louisiana doesn't have that.
Now, one of the things also is if you wanted to do something like that for a house, you could put it in a trust, but it's just as easy to have it in a will with the independent administration. If I did your will, I know we did independent administration, which means it's pretty much a pretty efficient and quick transfer in the context of an estate as opposed to a trust.
Okay, well, that sounds good. Somebody brought that up. I just was wondering what it was and whether it was a good thing to have or not.
Yeah, Albert will give you an explanation on the difference between a title and a deed in Louisiana. Just
Almost like a share of stock, right? It's a certificate, it's recorded, in Louisiana, we're more interested in the chain of title, and so any document that deals with immovable property or real estate has to be a writing. So I may have a document where I sold the property to you, it's not recorded, and I can turn around and sell that property to someone else, and according to the public record, that third person owns the property and you don't, and you might have an action against me, but you don't have an action for the house. Tell you a quick scenario with this whole, just same thing with retirement accounts, right? So
yeah.
I had a client that his husband remarried, the dad remarried, wife, the second wife was 25 years or so. He had two accounts. One was his retirement account and his 401k. And so they both listed his name. But, he'd been married to this second wife for 27 years. So he decided, I'm going to leave my kids, one of them for $200,000 and leave my wife the other one for $200,000. Well, when it came time to divvy it all up, the wife says, hey, wait a minute, I've got to claim a half of what you're giving the kid because that's my community property. And so the guy was, his intentions, I think, clearly were to leave 200 to the children, 200 to the wife. But instead, what ended up happening, because she was paying to her half of the community property over those retirement accounts, ended up with 300,000, and the children only ended up with one. So you need to be careful when you're making these just distributions, and when you come to see us for a will, we're going to ask you about these things, but the retirement accounts and those beneficiary will accounts all outside of probate. So it won't be anything that we're going to fool with, or the attorney handling the estate is going to fool with. That's not the beneficiary. It's to the financial institution that holds in the 401k, and they distribute the money. So, it's something you've got to, make sure that you cover all the bases with in terms of your beneficiaries, et cetera, when you have community property, and especially when you have, a blended family or second wife, third wife, whatever the case may be.
Well, I certainly appreciate the information. Thank you again for the will, Doug.
All right, Barry. Good.
I think you answered my question.
All right, Barry. And we're going to keep that will in place for another 30 or 40 years. How about that? All right, man. Let's go to Cleo in Mississippi. He's got a question regarding lottery winnings and how to preserve assets. What's up, Cleo?
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Cleon, and I'm
Cleon. Oh, I'm sorry.
If you have time for indulging a fantasy on winning a really big lottery, is there a best legal
Well, this is not all things accounting, but basically, I would suspect if you won a lottery, you'd have to pay full income tax on that, and then if you wanted to reduce that, you could reduce it by donating it to a charity or a 501c3 company, and that would reduce to certain restrictions. I'll defer to a CPA, but that would be conceptually one way of dealing with that, or a charitable trust.
I think you're going to pay that income tax on the receipt of the funds. Now, if you receive it in the form of an annuity,
Yeah.
you're actually receiving the funds, and then you can perhaps make donations in the year that you receive it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of think too that there is a limit in terms of percentages on the people write off
Right.
from what you donate. But depending on how fast that lottery winning is, the other thing is you might want to place those proceeds into an LLC or some sort of entity. That way it's perpetual, and you can kind of be the main voting member of that LLC. But again, that's really a CPA question. So I would wait to have a CPA on to ask that question.
But I do have advice on how to preserve your assets if you win the lottery. Is don't spend it all. No. Yeah. Well, you could do that with the trust, or a will, and put a testamentary trust and that's typically done if a lot of times if you have someone who's doing a will who has a lot of money and doesn't want to get all the money to their children or grandchildren or heirs all at once, they put it in a trust with instructions on getting it out a little bit over time for the duration of their lives under certain conditions. So that is very wise. Well, I don't know. I think once you win, you're going to be paid income taxes. There may be some. Now, I mean, there's ways. You have foundations, you have charitable trusts, you have people who are very, very wealthy take full advantage of the tax laws and also putting their money to a charity that would help mitigate, the taxes paid. And a lot of these foundations that we hear about today were just very wealthy people who didn't want to have their money go to taxes, so they formed foundations, went to charitable trusts that were able to be utilized for the good without the government getting their grimy hands on the money.
Thank you very much.
All right. I guess Albert, you could say this morning we fantasized with Cleon from Mississippi, right? There you go. All right, let's go to. Help me out, Colin. Who we have next? Kevin from Slidell's got a roofer issue. Hey, Kevin, you on All Things Legal?
Hey, how y'all
Good.
this morning? I had a dispute over the idle last year with a roofer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I wanted to hang it up on you. It's kind of arrogant. He said, if you don't pay this so much, I'll put a lien on your house. Whatever. And he was really arrogant, so I hung up on him. But how do you? And I was talking to somebody just casual, and they say you get a lien on your house and not even know about it. You go to sell something, and then they say you got a lien on the house, so he can know that he can put a lien on you, and you don't get an official notification. Is that actual? Can that happen? Do you get something in writing saying? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyone can file a lien on your property. Any material event.
How is that done?
They just report it on your property. The thing about it, when was the roof completed?
Oh, last year it was complete. It was complete quickly, but we had a dispute on the price.
Okay.
long story short, he wanted 10,000. Then he said, no, it's going up to 30,000. I said, well, I need some proof of that. I mean, I've never gotten anything other than the original permission for you to work on my house with the estimate. I've never gotten anything in writing for you. I don't even know the price of a pack of shingles. I don't know any of these factors, you know. I got to read all that, you know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
about a limit filing lien, he's way past his lien filing period. So if he does file a lien on the property, you can send him a demand to have it removed. If he does not remove the lien timely, within 10 days actually, then you can take steps to file a writ with the federal court.
Let's take a break after this one.
Mm-hmm. Removed, and he would have to pay all of your costs and attorney's fees for having to do that. So you threaten him with that. Go ahead.
The question is, can I have a lien on the property without me being officially notified?
Yeah, is there a notice provision to get it before having a lien put on your property?
Say again?
Yeah, a notice provision, Albert. I think what's no?
No, you don't have to notify. I mean, you don't have to notify. You can just go file a lien with the clerk of court. It happens all the time. Now, typically, people will let you know because they want to enforce the lien to get paid. But
they want the money.
Yeah, talking about so a lot of people threaten. I want to put a lien in your house, but it's been a year. It's too late. It's been 6 months. It's too late. So
I don't know if there's a lien. I mean, there could be. That's what I'm asking. Can there be a lien? So there can be a lien on my property without me knowing it.
Yeah. Go down to the clerk of court's office and say, hey, look, here's my property. I want to check to see if there's a lien filed.
Or you could call the clerk of court.
Yeah, the clerk of court might be able to. They might be able to pull it and see.
So that's the clerk of court in St. Tammany or the clerk of
What?
court in Slidell or whatever?
No, clerk of court in St. Tammany and Covington. I would call the mortgage and conveyance office and ask them if there's any liens recorded. You give me your name on your property, and they'll accommodate you. St. Tammany, yeah, they'll accommodate you.
Okay, you answered my question. I got that. I can't say it on the air. So
What?
I want to put you back to the person that was answering the call. I got the ultimate lawyer joke for you.
No, you can tell it. You can tell it. We love lawyer jokes. We love them.
No, it's
It's obscene. You can't clean it up. We actually of our 500 shows. Well, yeah.
I don't know if he's still around. A decade ago. David Patterson, Covington.
Oh, I know David. My wife has a bunch of cases against David. Yes.
I'm already holding over the dump button.
This is his favorite joke.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll ask. Yeah, go ahead. All right. What I'll do is I'll ask David about it. In fact, of our 500 shows we've probably had the last 15 years, I think we had one show where we asked everybody to give their best lawyer joke. So we're yeah. All right. Next time I see David, I'll ask him. All right, so I'll see him. All right. Let's go. Okay, we'll do that, and we're going to ask Colin to take a break. It's Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. We'll be back after this brief timeout.
WWL, home of the Garden Show with Dan Gill. Always live on the free Odyssey app. You're invited to a championship game watch party. Join Mike Atelier and Steve Geller for Sports Talk live from Manning Sports Bar and Grill tomorrow. Hang out with the guys and special guest Archie Manning as we count down to the biggest game in college basketball. Then watch the battle unfold. Come on out, eat, drink, and enjoy epic sports action with Mike and Steve tomorrow at 4 at Manning Sports Bar and Grill on WWL.
The following conversation brought to you by OmegaTaxCredits.com.
I thought I couldn't get the employee retention credit if I got the PPP loan.
Nope.
I thought it was really difficult to apply for the ERC.
Not if you use Omega Accounting Solutions. See, Omega has been around for more than 15 years. They are an established firm with extensive experience handling tax credits and will build a fiduciary relationship with you and your business.
But I'm sure it takes forever to find out if you qualify, though, right?
Again, no. If you call 800-704-2000, you can find out in under 10 minutes.
I make a call that takes less than 10 minutes, and I can find out if my company is eligible to receive a tax credit of up to $26,000.
Based on how your small business is impacted by government mandates or lost revenue during the COVID crisis.
Call Omega Accounting at 800-704-2000, and in 10 minutes, find out.
You guys ready for the joke?
Yeah.
$6,000 per employee. Call
The difference between a rooster and a lawyer.
What?
A rooster's clucks defiance, a lawyer's fucks the client.
There you go. Yeah, you can't clean that one up. A lot of them you could clean up. Not that one.
Just go to FanDuel.com/TOMMY to sign up. New customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball and WWL.
21 plus and resident in Louisiana. Permitted pairs. First online real money leader only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet. Expired 14 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. If you are someone who wants help, call 1-877-770-STOP.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our homework. Still millions of things as we count down to Earth Day. Just 20 days to go. A simple way to save water is to turn the water off when you are brushing your teeth or shaving. Only turn it on to rinse when necessary. Remember, every drop counts.
So we do still have a couple callers if we want to get to them. I know.
No, let's call them.
Cover and Albert, you got something you want to talk about as well?
Let's do.
Find time. We've got 2 people on the line.
Yeah, let's do callers. Let's do callers.
So we've got Aaron from Chalmette who has a wrongful termination question.
Okay. And who?
And Joy from Kenner who has a TOD, not a TOD, which I didn't know what it was. She told me it's
Yeah.
an account.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's it. Aaron from Chalmette, Joy from Kenner.
There's a great work of art in every box from Oakland Heart on Metairie Road.
Monthly subscriptions now available. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, there. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
All things legal on WWL. Consult with Nico and Sunseri now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line. 504-260-1870. And don't forget to rewind on the Odyssey app.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Aaron's got a question regarding wrongful termination. What you got for us, Aaron?
I was fired from the job.
And that's they saying that me and another guy was fired from the job, and they was on top of the scaffolding, and I was on the side of the scaffolding, not too close to the ground. They said we had to have harness on. That was one violation, which I didn't commit. I don't think I committed. And another violation was a lockout tag out that they didn't have their end set
Well, okay, let me ask you this. Did you have a contract to work for this company, a written contract for a specific period of time? No. Okay, I was just asking. Are you with the union? Do you have any? Are you with the? Okay. Are you a member of the union? Are you a member of the union? No. We're at an at-will state, which means you can be fired for any non-discriminatory reason, as long as you don't have an employment contract for a period of time. And the discriminatory reasons based on age, race, religion, gender, national origin, or disability. So a lot of times, and it's a difficult conversation to have because even if you're fired and it's not, you know, if it's not for a non-discriminatory reason, but it's not correct, it's not right, they have the right to fire you. For example, let's say you have a sales manager who has 10 salesmen, and the top selling salesman he fires because of a non-discriminatory reason. Even though he's performing the best, the employer still has the right to fire them. So you in Louisiana it's called at-will employment, and generally, even if you've fired for an incorrect reason, the recovery is often limited to none unless you have a written contract. That's tough. I mean, we get that question a lot. All right, man. I'm so sorry about that. All right, thanks for the call. Let's go to Joy. She got a question regarding POD accounts. Hey, Joy, what you have for us?
I was a caregiver for my mom for approximately 8.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, I paid for a lot of her stuff. Not that she couldn't afford to pay for it, but we're talking about, drugstore items, food, medical supply type things, walkers, lifts that raised the head of the bed, the mattress, because she had congestive heart failure. Anyway, long story short, over time, it began to add up. And so, sometimes she would pay me, and other times I would be nearly embarrassed to ask her to pay me for it. So I'd let it go. But over this long period of time, it added up. And so I have 2 siblings, and we were to split the estate 3 ways. And I said, Mom, it may be insignificant, but that's my salary sitting in your checking account. And when, the time does come, we're going to split it 3 ways. And that's really my money. So then she agreed she would give me the balance that was left in her checking when she passed. So we went to the bank and we were going to add me on as or, and they said, no, that's not how you do it. You do a POD. So they sent us to a notary, and we had it notarized, and the balance was payable on death. Well, because she was with me for such an extended period of time, down the road, she changed her will to give me more. And she ended up giving me 50, and my 2 siblings split the other 50. I had her nearly 10 years. Well, she signed the POD first, and then she changed the will. So where does that leave the POD? Is that a
I mean, the POD, if your father's deceased.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's her separate property, it's her money. She changed the will. I mean, you may want to talk to her about, hey, look, you want to change this back since now you're leaving me 50%. Otherwise, if it stays the way it is, she changed the will and you're listed as the transferee upon the death of that account upon her death. So it's kind of do the accounting on it.
No, it's separate and apart. It's
the will does not trump it because it was changed after she
no,
did the POD.
No, it doesn't. It's 2 separate transactions for your purposes. It's 2 transactions. One transaction's the POD. You get the money in that account, and then whatever's subject to the probate is 50, 25, and 25. So the one doesn't have any effect on the other in this case.
Okay.
All right. All right. All right, Albert, we have a couple of texts. One text is my agent told me, and this is something we do every year, so we'll just do it again. My insurance agent told me I should get UM. Should I get UM, and why is it important?
Right. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I can't stress it enough.
UM, uninsured motorist for the Bucktown listeners. That's right. Gotcha.
Yes, uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage on your auto policy. Basically, that is a separate premium, a separate coverage for the fault of an uninsured motorist that causes an accident. It has nothing to do with your driving ability. It will have nothing to do with your rates if you make a claim. It won't affect your rate. It specifically states that in the statute. But basically, if you get in a pretty serious accident, you have $50,000 in medical bills and another $300,000 in pain and suffering, general damages, those types of things, and you have a $100,000 limits on your liability policy and a $100,000 uninsured motorist policy. And the other side only has $25,000 limit. Then you are limited to recovering that $25,000 only if you don't have uninsured motorist coverage, or underinsured in this case, motorist coverage. And so it's a very small amount in comparison to the premium. And it's well worth it, because that couple $300 could certainly be the difference in another $100,000 in coverage, or whatever your liability limits are. We see it all the time. I got in a pretty bad accident. Well, who was the other driver's insurer? He didn't have insurance. And so you have uninsured motorist coverage. No, I don't. You know what? You get nothing. You get zero. And there are so many people driving around, especially in the city of New Orleans, that have no coverage, or that have minimal coverage. And in this state, it's only $15,000 minimum coverage. And so, as a result, you $15,000 that barely covers, an emergency room visit these days. So, yes, the answer is very clear. You get underinsured motorist coverage. The premium on it is very minimal with respect to the cost of the entire policy. Get the full limit. Don't just get economic only. Don't just get
Yeah. Why don't you explain the difference between economic only versus the full uninsured motorist coverage?
Well, yeah. So economic only is exactly that. So you've opted for underinsured or uninsured motorist coverage, but you've selected economic only damages, and economic only damages are exactly that. They're damages for your medical bills, and for your lost wages, and any out-of-pocket costs you have, ambulance service, whatever the case may be. But it does not cover any general damages, what is called general damages, pain and suffering, a loss of enjoyment of life, loss of ability to do this and that, So you want to make sure that you don't select the lower limits, you don't select the economic only, you select full uninsured motorist coverage, and it's so well worth the extra, couple $100 that you're going to pay to have that coverage. It's because too many other people driving around these days don't have any coverage or very little coverage.
There you go. So, and it's hard to tell, when you have a client who does have serious car accident, they have limited coverage. The other party didn't have insurance coverage or very limited coverage. A lot of times the medical bills will eat up the entire insurance coverage, and so basically what you're doing is you're just paying off medical bills and that for the healthcare providers and nothing else. So it's very important to do that. Okay, let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
WWL, home of the Home Improvement Show with Paul LaGrange. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Monday morning on WWL, we'll see how the search for a new NOPD superintendent is coming along. And how about
Doug, you saw that we have another caller up?
Who's that? No, who do we got? David? Okay. Okay, gotcha. Who is that? That. How was that in the 50s? 40s, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm going like old.
Yeah, that's like.
Everyone can rise above their circumstances if they are dedicated.
Don't worry, the next one's going to be good.
They are our best efforts.
It's always impossible until it's done.
Mr. Nelson Mandela is teaching not only united a nation, they inspire us today. Inspiration. Pass it on from passiton.com.
It's March, and you know what that means? Taxes are almost due. Jackson Hewitt can help you win tax season. That's the sound of your maximum tax refund. The sound of getting 50% off tax prep. The sound of many of our competitors' prices going up. And the sound of getting to your nearest Jackson Hewitt. Hurry in for 50% off tax prep before this offer expires April 9th. Limited time offer for new clients filing in participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/returns.
Bonjour, mes amis. Looking for the perfect gift? There's no better way to say I love you than with a pair of diamond stud earrings from Open Heart Jewelers. Don't think that all diamond studs are alike. Ours really sparkle, and you don't need a loop to see the difference. Plus, we buy direct, so we bring you the best for less. And no matter how much you want to spend, we have a huge selection of diamond studs to choose from. In every size, second to none. There's a great work of art in every box from Oakland Hunt on Beverly Road.
Is your Hurricane Ida insurance claim unresolved, underpaid, denied, or stuck in neutral with a public adjuster? Did your Hurricane Ida insurance company go bankrupt? If so, you must file a lawsuit before August 29, 2023, or your Hurricane Ida insurance claim will expire or go away. Hi, this is Doug Sunseri, longtime WWL radio host and attorney at Nicaud and Sunseri Law Firm in Metairie and Mandeville. Nicaud and Sunseri can preserve your Hurricane Ida claim if the insurance company attempts to fall on the ball and run out the clock. Call 504-837-1304 Nicaud and Sunseri Law Firm.
Chevron is proud to sponsor the 45th annual Adelphi Crescent City Classic, Saturday, April 8th. To register, walk, stroll, or run to CCC10K.com. Join Chevron, the human energy company, at the Adelphi Crescent City Classic. The race for all, y'all.
Countdown to Earth Day. 20 days to go. A simple way to save water is to turn the water off when you are done. When shaving, only put it on to rinse. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Tax refund shop is everywhere. But what is it?
My tax refund shrank.
Mine too. The culprit, pandemic stimulus payments and tax credits expiring. In this reporter's opinion, you need a tax expert.
Hey guys, Jackson Hewitt guarantees your biggest refund.
And tax prep is 50% off. Going there now.
50% off is a limited time offer for new clients filing in participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
So we were in Times Square
Taking selfies with all the lights.
I bought a shot glass.
I bought a snow globe at this little shop.
You know, I collect those.
Then we grabbed a slice.
It's a super secret spot. It smelled a It's a bit funky outside.
I heard they don't have alleys.
They don't have alleys, but they certainly have people. Lots of people. When everyone's vacation sounds the same,
It's time for something different. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
I'm JR, CBS Sports Radio, and I want to introduce you to a new podcast titled Agents of Inclusion, brought to you by Special Olympics, Odyssey, and JR Sport Reproductions. Every Wednesday, we'll be speaking with a different Special Olympics athlete to share their stories of perseverance, accomplishment, and path towards inclusion. We don't want you to just listen. We want you to become an active agent of inclusion as well. Special Olympics, Agents of Inclusion, find it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
All things legal on WWL, AMFM.com, and the Odyssey app. Connect with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nicaud on the Oakland Art Jewelers Talk and Text Line, 504-260-1870.
All right, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to David from Wiggins, Mississippi, the home of the great Dizzy Dean and former Saints player and now Philadelphia Eagle, Justin Evans. Hey, Dave, what you have for us?
Hey, good morning, good morning. My father had a will where he was going to leave me and my brother 50/50 property, everything that he owned. In a month, well, he passed away, of course, and then a month before he passed away, apparently my brother took him to a lawyer and changed the will to where everything would be willed to him. And my question is, how do you? I'm having trouble finding out. First off, my dad never did tell me anything. And second, how do I know my father actually went to that law firm and signed those documents?
Let me ask you a quick question. What was your father's mental capacity a month before he died? Did he have any type of dementia? Did he have any?
I would say, it wasn't great. It was good.
Yeah, because that's going to be the issue. If it's a valid will, it was, was this in Mississippi or Louisiana?
Mississippi.
Yeah, so things are probably a little different there, but from a Louisiana standpoint, if it is a valid notarial will, meaning it was executed before a notary and two witnesses, then it's presumed valid, and the court will probate it, and then it's going to be your burden to challenge it and challenge the mental capacity, lack of capacity of your father in executing that will. And that's rather, I wouldn't say expensive process, but it can be, because now all of a sudden you have to get treating physicians, you have to get the doctors to want to go testify as to the competency of your father, and whether he has lucid animals, that you're going to send him take depositions of notary. So you may be spending a bunch of money for nothing, or you may find out that he we had a problem. From what you're telling me right away is that he was pretty good. He was his mental health was in pretty good shape a month before he died. Maybe he went ahead and changed it for some reason, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Contacted a couple of law firms. Basically, they said it's going to run me about $30,000 to find out.
Wow.
And more than likely, nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to.
Wow.
That's where I'm at, but I just can't understand. I know a lot of crazy things happen.
No, and that. No.
And my dad would do that without a time.
Did you talk to your brother about it?
Yeah, he won't. We're completely out of town. Won't talk to me.
Yeah.
Won't let me come to the property. It's shocking. It's shocking that all this.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes too, another basis to contesting a will is undue duress. In other words, if you could show that they were under duress when they signed a will, which is a very high mountain to climb. It's very, very difficult to do. It's very, very difficult. But, sometimes it does happen where you'd have a child taking care of mom and says, look, if you don't sign this will like this, I'm not going to take care of you, or something along those lines. And that's provable. It's not speculation. It's, evidentiary, by a caretaker or someone who doesn't, who could substantiate that. But yeah, those are tough. And, that's I always tell people in that situation, especially parents. I said, just think about what you're doing. You don't need to do this. And also too, as an attorney, if someone comes in their last stages of life and they want to do a will that takes that excludes the other children, I'm very, very careful about that. I spend a lot of time with them to make sure this is what you want to do. You understand, the consequences of it. You understand that it's probably going to lead to a lot of, discord among your children when you're gone. And a lot of times, even when I do that, I film it because I know it's going to be a controversy. And so, you know,
And that's the hardest part about it because I know I didn't know he wouldn't have. If he would have did it, he would have told me, and he didn't tell me anything.
yeah. Well, even if he told you, but you see, he's in his last illness, and if he tells you, then he'll know you get pushback. So it's better just So that's not surprising that he wouldn't. And again, that's a very, very tough situation. And we have had situations like that where we did contest a will, and we didn't. We were able to leverage a settlement just due to the uncertainty, but it wasn't maybe all of the requests. But it is an investment and it is a risk. And sometimes you invest this money in this, and you turn over a stone that's very helpful. That hey, we can use this to contest a will, and you can cut a deal or effectuate a settlement. Sometimes you go through this entire process and you find out this is what Dad wanted to do, and we don't really have anything to contest that.
Right.
All right, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's tough. All right. Thanks for the call. That's not a good situation there. That's very, very difficult. All right, let's go to our final break. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. We'll be right back after this brief time out.
WWL, home of all things legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nicaud. Live on the free Odyssey app. WWL is proudly sponsored by Dudley DeBosier Injury Lawyers. Call 5.
I didn't have to do this at all, but for some reason, our last break that we're going into right now is the shortest one that we'll have today. It's like 3.5 minutes, so we'll come back with like probably like 4 to 5 minutes.
Oh, really? We don't have anybody on the line, huh?
No, so
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
end on a strong note if you want.
All right.
Go to getrefunds.com to get.
We'll come back with no rejoins.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then
Gotcha.
music, and then I'll again count down, have music in the background, everything.
To $26,000 per employee kept on payroll during COVID-19. GetRefunds.com has already helped clients claim over $3 billion.
Anything you want in particular, we can end on the high.
Let's go LSU. LSU fights on.
There's no upfront charge either. They don't get paid until your business gets its refund. Many businesses believe they won't qualify based off incomplete or outdated. Don't let this opportunity pass you by, because this payroll tax refund is only available for a limited time. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
Diamonds Direct is making it easier than ever to design your dream ring at your dream payment. Announcing all new aggressive financing options up to 60 months. These new creative plans allow you to pick your payment so you don't have to compromise on that engagement ring. We know that just like that ideal engagement ring, one size doesn't fit all. You want choices, alternatives, options, and as always, we want to empower you every step of the way. Diamonds Direct's multitude of finance options now allow you to spread your payments up to 5 years. Pay nothing down or pay a lot down. You decide. Get a $400 a month payment or a $200 a month payment. It's your choice. So you can get the most beautiful engagement ring and have money left over for other fun things like a tropical honeymoon or decorating the house. And by the way, it's not just for engagement rings. You can use these flexible financing options for wedding bands, designer jewelry, gifts for any occasions. At Diamonds Direct, we're always finding ways to help you make your money go farther. Your love, our passion. Get directions, showroom hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 475-2323.
LA 121-12674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Call 475-2323.
Hey, Slidell, we want your stuff. Dependable storage downtown.
Hi, Sarah. I'm sorry I'm late. The traffic is crazy. Yeah, it is. And it doesn't help that gas prices have skyrocketed. I can't believe how much it costs for gas now. Everyone's talking about how much gas is, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app, and I get cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with the Upside app? Yeah, real cash every time I buy gas. What? That sounds like it could
We're back at 30.
I
Okay.
spent about $200 already. Wow, that's serious extra money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CAR57 for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CAR57 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus in your first tank. That's code CAR57 for 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. Cash back is not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nicaud, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. Boy, if that doesn't get you fired up, nothing will. Albert, I have an interesting stat about today's game with LSU and Iowa. The Bayou Barbie, Alexis Morris is who's the Bayou Barbie? It's Angel Reese. Angel Reese is the highest paid NIL, makes more money in NIL than any college basketball player, male or female. So then, Yes. So it's amazing. Now I would say, NIL is a little different in the sense that it's not your traditional, like we think of sponsorship deals as the TV commercials, like they had with Bryce Young with the Heisman House and that sort of thing. But really, the majority of the money from the NIL comes from social media, and a player hawking a product or sending out posts, because you might have somebody like Angel Reese having 1 million followers. So when she posts something about a particular product, I mean, you get in front of 1 million, a million consumers. So, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing. But it's amazing that when NIL started 2 years ago, who would have thought that the leading basketball player who would make the most money off of NIL was female basketball player. So, all right. Any predictions for LSU Iowa? 2:30.
I like LSU. I think they end up kind of just overpowering eventually, and if they can keep taking claws on the 30, I think they win.
You know what? Go after Caitlin. Yeah, go after Caitlin Clark. Get her in foul trouble. If LSU's guards can hit a couple of 3-pointers or outside shots, open up the middle, I think that's the key. And I think Coach Mulkey's probably been there 4 or 5 times before, so she knows how to handle this. So there you go. All right. Anything before we leave, Albert?
That's about it. I wanted to talk about fortified roofing, fortified homes in terms of building, with people calling with roofing questions. We can maybe do that.
We'll do that in 2 weeks. All right. Okay, we're going to be off next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. So y'all have a great Holy Week and great Easter. We'll see you in 2 weeks in All Things Legal. And go Tigers.